Welcome back to ANW, your only place for Aspara news and weather, past, present, or future. Now, over to Bobby Dewdrop with last week's forecast on the Incorrigible party. Attack carries over into the guy next to him with his cleave and takes out both of them.
Nice.
This thing, like the structural integrity of this hatch, is not doing so well. Like it's kind of like sagging now, especially with both of you on top of it.
Okay. So that solidifies my decision to move off of it. I'm gonna move over.
What? I have a issue though. If I don't attack or get attacked on my turn, I will become exhausted because my rage will end.
Oh dear. Should I attack you?
It's not translating to podcast, but I
rolled a
have
one.
my eyes shut.
Well, you shutting your eyes, very, very accurate, because Bryn, you are blinded for 1 minute. While you were fighting, you recognized they were wearing Tuk-Tuk tribe's colors, and they have the exact same tattoo on their foreheads that matches Brook's. I guess late morning, almost midday, and there is a light rain kind of by this lake, lightly raining, just FYI.
Okay.
That really adds, Leland. It really adds.
I can feel it.
Well, thanks, Rick. Now back to you for what happens in Aspara as the adventure continues.
The drip drop of the rain, and Bryn is dozed off.
Remind you of home.
Alright, so Bryn and Gozer are snoozing.
The sound of rain through trees is what I'm used to. But being by rushing water isn't bad either.
Shaft is taking first watch.
What does Russian water taste like?
Rushing
Vodka.
water? Yeah, vodka.
Okay, yeah. First shaft shift. Goes
Shift
by.
shaft. It's a shift shaft. I like that.
Goes by, kind of, that's kind of nice by this lake, despite the light rain. And it's quiet. It's relatively flat terrain, right? So on flat terrain, you can see. I think you got sight 2 miles around you, kind of thing. First shift goes by. Falls are in. Second shift. Roll for random encounter. Second shift goes by, and Bryn wakes up to take over third and fourth, fully rested now with your elven trance.
Oh, yeah.
As the, day kind of slowly, sun starts to wane, the light rain ceases. It's no longer lightly raining. As third and fourth shift pass.
Is there a rainbow?
That really adds.
Do we get a rainbow when
You get a double rainbow. Because
No way!
Well, don't get too excited, because in Aspara, the only rainbows that exist are double rainbows. That's just how it works.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a common occurrence.
Is there a dwarf with some gold at the end?
Well, you could follow the rainbow if you like.
Maybe
It is a magical world. Leprechauns may exist in this world. And you guys are now all fully rested. Exhaustion level's gone. Spell slots back for Falsey. Hit points fully restored. And half of your spent hit dice you regain.
Yay!
They're all there.
Alright.
What were we doing again? Where are we headed?
Goldum.
Ultimately, to Goldum.
Yeah.
Eventually.
If you guys look at the map, see how the lake runs down to the river, and then it splits between Vicshire and Opidum Silva. There's a fork in the river.
Mm-hmm.
We should just take the river on the north end, north of Vicshire, stay out of the town, go through the woods. Goldum. Avoid Zexa. That's my thought, anyway.
That's fine. We're going to make it, I think...
And don't get in any wagons.
The DM said to us we could go about 6 squares, right, in a day?
Yeah.
Is that walking,
At a normal
or is
pace,
that
you can
on...
go 4 squares.
Okay, 4. On horseback, what can we do?
Horseback, I guess horseback would... I'll default horseback as a fast pace, I guess. But you don't take the penalties to perception on horseback, though.
Okay. So
it's still only 6?
I mean, that's running the horses ragged, though.
To go only 6 squares?
Well,
'Cause
that's
we
like
could
30 miles.
Yeah, but you said we could walk that in a day.
No, you walk 4 in a day.
let's
Oh,
head down to
4
about where that bridge is. I mean, we're not being chased or anything. Let's just take our time.
Yeah, you got through the night without being assaulted, so.
Yeah, we can go to that bridge. Yep.
Let's go about to that bridge. That's about the distance we could go at a regular pace, and then we'll stop there.
Okay, so we're gonna head to the bridge between the towns of Drukal and Barrack.
Yeah.
Follow the river.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Follow the river.
Okay, as you follow the river,
Insert Pocahontas singing here. I really wanted to sing.
We can't afford that.
Bryn doesn't sing, so no.
this is kind of quite the sight here. The 4 of you on these 2 horses, I would imagine. You can picture just Shaft, just like arms not quite fully wrapped around Gozer's middle as he's trying not to fall off this horse.
And Falzarin like lays a hand on me and I like smack him. I'm like, don't touch me.
Oh, Falzarin. Roll to attack. Falzarin's gonna get knocked out again.
Do you have a backpack, Gozer?
Um,
I wouldn't mind doing a little master blaster here.
Oh, what?
Hop up in there so I can see.
Yes.
Who
I don't like
run
not.
Barter Town?
I don't want to be back there where I don't want to see your back. So if I can somehow climb up on your
Face the other way.
so you're gonna basically ride on my shoulders? No, Gozer would not allow that.
why not? You trust me, and I don't weigh hardly
No.
anything. Okay.
Be lucky. Just be happy that you're on the back of this horse,
Every once in a while, though, I'm gonna climb up there just
and I'm
to
gonna
see.
smack you back down, and you're gonna have
Okay,
to
we'll
roll
have
to
to
not fall
roleplay
off the
that.
horse.
We'll have to role play that out then.
So as you're traveling, and now it's dark now that you guys are traveling, right?
Yeah.
You get to the bridge.
And it would be like dawn at this time then if it took us all day, which would be all night.
We slept for 8 hours during the day, right?
Yeah, so
And then we went to sleep just as sun was coming up, and then we're riding horseback for 6 hours. So it's got to be. It wouldn't.
Yeah,
it
it's
wouldn't be
6.
morning
It's
again
about
yet.
7.
he didn't say
7-ish
6 hours. Yeah.
No, but he's Falzarin calculated right. So yeah, in about 7 hours you get to this bridge. So I don't think I've actually described these main roads here, right? But they're the main roads are like 25 feet wide. Like they're very wide. They're paved, kind of like cobblestoney, and they're like the main roads that any type of resources travel by or people travel by. So they're generally maintained well by the cities, kind of out to a certain distance anyways outside of these cities. So this bridge here kind of centered on the main road that leads from Drukal westwardly to the city of Barrack. Kind of at this bridge, it's a stone bridge, again, so 20 feet wide, kind of this arching bridge over this river. And it's it's standing, right, but it's not like it's as well maintained or hygiened as some of the roads closer to the cities. So you're coming on. It's still kind of dark, but again, you're coming on morning again here. So what do you guys want? What are you doing here?
I think we'll get to the bridge and maybe sort of let the horses rest and take a short rest under the bridge and then go ahead for a little bit farther during the rest of the day. What time of the day did you say it was?
You're coming on. You're coming on morning again here.
Do we see anyone crossing the bridge?
Is there any
or on the
rush hour
roads around us?
traffic?
Yeah.
There's nobody immediately on
No
the bridge.
trolls under
Why
the
don't you?
bridge or
Yeah, no
anything?
trolls under the bridge. I thought about it. Why don't you guys? Can you all roll me a history check?
Nat 20 for Falzarin.
Nat 20.
18.
8.
Elena's on a roll here. I mean, Bryn's on a roll.
Bryn rolls her third one this session.
Wow! Oh my
Are you
goodness.
gonna get a new die?
I've rolled it between two different. Yeah.
So Falzer
Falzer got a
Shaft.
20. Yeah.
Falzer and Shaft, you kind of recalling what you know of some of the other cities, maybe Falzer, and you've actually come across maybe some text in Heracleon, kind of detailing some of the larger cities in Aspara, and of course Shaft, still kind of familiar with the overall outer boundaries around the city of Drakal, and Shaft as being in the profession that he is certainly traveled to all different parts of Aspara before, but the city of Barrack itself is the most western city in this kind of northern part of Aspara, and you guys both know that, like, seeing no real traffic, especially if you spend some amount of time on this bridge, it's not uncommon that people just aren't traveling to Barrack. I mean, it's kind of there's really nothing there as far as cities or like main resource generation or anything like that. So it's kind of a very almost kind of bland city.
And then Bryn, what does she do? With the fail.
She looks
Bryn-
at a stone on the ground.
Bryn leans over the river and accidentally falls in.
Oh God, make a swim check.
She sees something shiny and she falls in the river.
Do we know the name of this bridge?
No, it doesn't have a particular name.
But we do know this is the bridge between Barrack and Drakal.
Oh yeah. Like this
Okay.
is the only road, only groomed, like constructed road or pathway from connecting those two cities.
If I recall, we're somewhere about halfway to Vixture from Drakal. So if we take a short rest and then maybe travel a little bit further down to the hills, and and then
Sorry
rest for
to
the night.
interrupt you. Directly like south of this bridge, that is mountainous terrain, actually, to be distinct.
Exactly, mountainous terrain. Yeah. So we'll go into the mountains, and you know what? I think we can go right across. We'll follow the river. We wanted to go down to the forest, right?
Yeah.
So let's just take a little short rest here, let the horses rest, and then maybe about after lunch we'll take off and get some more distance travel.
Do we know if there's people living in this mountainous area?
Why don't you roll me a nature check?
10.
So you, of course, heralding from mountainous terrain, really the only mountains that you are, or peoples, living in these mountains that you've ever encountered in the similar terrain are orcs. So there could possibly be other bands of orcs living in these mountains.
But I don't know for a fact that there are, so I
You
wouldn't have
don't
had
know.
any contact
You
with
have
any.
no knowledge
Okay.
of tribe names, or no.
Yeah, I think we don't have much to do here except continue to travel. So I
Yeah,
think other
same.
than and possibly trying to avoid any kind of confrontation with anything we see, we're just gonna rest and move.
You're gonna just continue to move at the same pace.
Well, we can go at a lesser pace now that we're farther away from Call.
Does it take longer to go through the mountainous terrain?
If you follow the river, the river runs through these mountains are much smaller than the Borgrag mountains. They're not even named, like they're so almost insignificant comparatively, right? The size, anyways. So
But
actually,
I'm
sorry.
saying we can get through it in one go.
Oh
right
yeah,
now,
yeah,
Or do we
yeah.
have to
You
break?
can, you can. I mean, as far as any maps you've seen, this river runs through. I mean, if the river runs through and you're following the river, it makes sense that there's certainly possible pathway through the mountains.
It's okay. I'm a natural explorer. I can move through mountains at regular speed anyway, and along with my party.
Okay. Sounds good, Shaft. Let's keep going.
Okay, so we wanted to take a short rest till noon.
Gozer got tired of Shaft climbing on her back, so she grabbed him and put him around front on the horse's neck and said, "Stay."
Like a little rag doll in front of her.
I'll just say that's fine. This is a much better view, and it smells better.
Oh.
Gozer can't argue.
As you now continue from this bridge, following the river southward on your way to Vixture, you enter the ground becomes like, less. The vegetation is sparse as the terrain kind of slowly becomes more and more rocky. The incline kind of picks up in some areas as you're moving into this mountainous terrain here, and you travel for about an hour and a half ish from this bridge, and you are full on like walking through these mountains. So Shaft's expertise is definitely coming in handy, allowing the party to move through this hilly and rocky and unsettled terrain, basically with proficiency, as if it was solid, as if you're walking on one of the well-maintained roads of Aspara.
Oh, thanks, Shaft.
Not an issue.
And you see, as you can kind of see on the map here, again, it's way blown up, but like there's kind of this dip in between these two peaks that the river runs through. You come across, and you can see as you crest a bit of this incline, come to the top of it, that in the distance, about a mile away, you see two like humanoid figures kind of in the river.
Hey, stop
In the
for
water.
a second.
Ahead of you, yeah, in the water. They're in the water.
We all see this?
Yeah.
Do they look like they're in distress?
No, they look like... Okay, from a mile away, why don't you guys all roll me perceptions?
Let's change dice here. What?
Another nat 20.
Dang.
No.
I got a
18.
14.
13.
So you all can tell that they are two goblins in the river, and they seem to just be like washing like clothes. Like they're kind of like doing their laundry in this river. And they don't seem to have noticed you guys. I mean, they kind of have their backs to you in this river, right?
Hey, hold on a second. Let's
Yeah.
not go down there. There's no reason to let them see us. Let's see if we can sort of go around the other way here.
Gozer, I thought you said only orcs lived up here.
I don't know who in these mountains.
They don't look like orcs.
They're not.
Can we sort of find another pathway, sort of?
Yeah, you want to veer away from the river?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to keep the river over on
Out of
to
their
our
line of sight or something?
right-hand side, but sort of, yeah.
I decide that our horse will follow Shaft since he knows his mountainous terrain.
We're gonna go a
I
little
sorta-
east.
I grab the reins. Gozer has them back in the back. I'll reach up and grab the reins a little bit higher up and sort of turn. I go, we're gonna go this way.
Gozer, let's go to the reins. Let you steer.
Okay. So directly from where you are kind of just heading eastwardly into the more further into these mountains here, keeping the river kind of off to your right, paralleling with it, right? That's what you want to
Right.
do.
Gozer also
Yes.
draws out her hand axe and holds it.
Okay, nice, perfect. So do you want to try to keep the river in view, like?
Yeah, unless we see anything that we're gonna have to avoid.
Well, so to really get into the terrain that you guys would be able to be less visible in, you kind of have to go about half a mile, like east, like away from the river here, as kind of the natural terrain. It kind of levels off and flattens out at the banks of this river as it over its time, right? The river has cut its way, as water does with stone, through these mountains. So a half a mile east into these mountains, you kind of find, and with your expertise, picking out these what seem to be like already like pathways, like traveled paths. Whether it's okay, roll me a perception check, or sorry, survival.
20.
Okay, so like these travel paths you've found, like they seem to be like animal paths, right? Like like goats kind of scrambling up the sides of these mountains. You've kind of found where their hooves have made impressions and kind of worn down as the migration of these animals have kind of left these markings that you were able to pick up and follow with your horse. Maybe not exactly the same paths that a goat would travel as on horseback, but keeping within the almost like kind of smoother edges of this mountain kind of thing, as you travel up, and the incline kind of kicks up as you move, still continuing south, but higher elevation, and the river still visible, but now you're kind of getting higher and higher above what would be like the water level of this river.
The one time I rolled a 20, you just took Shaft's number and went with that, and I didn't get any credit. After 3 ones. 3 ones in an hour.
You realize that Shaft knows where he's going and probably didn't need to roll for your survival anyways.
You know what? It's all good. It's fine. But 3 20s in an hour. I mean, 3 ones in an hour. I had to pout about that a little bit.
You just got shafted.
So Shaft, does your you just got shafted. Does your favored terrain, it applies to the party? I'm assuming that's going to apply to the horses as well, right? Like your travel.
Well, it says entire party, I think. So.
Entire party. Okay.
We are partying with these horses.
You're able to.
Heck yeah.
After partying. I will invite the horses to the next after party. So I would still say, so you move through this terrain as if it was normal, right?
Yes.
Okay, so are you still...
Ain't nothing but a thing.
So you guys are... So the horses are now traveling at, like, the normal travel pace, right?
While Shaft is steering this horse, Gozer's going to be trying to keep an eye out to see if she sees anything else.
Okay, so about an hour after kind of finding this new path, Gozer, why don't you perception for me?
9.
Okay,
Gozer
so
sneezed.
yeah, you take in the mountains here, and like it's very familiar. Maybe right, obviously being
Getting homesick.
similar to where you grew up, a little bit, maybe a little bit. I don't know. But you don't, if you're looking specifically for goblins, you certainly don't see any sign of them.
Okay.
What time of day is it? Yeah.
What is the time of day? I
What's
completely.
the weather?
You left. You're such a smart ass. That's it. The next 20 you roll, I'm disregarding too.
Bryn looks up at the sky like, what is the weather? It really matters.
Up in these mountains, it is now overcast as you kind of are climbing high enough to almost be at the level of these low slung mountains of the day here. And so you hit... Sorry, I'm actually gonna I've completely lost track of time. How did I do that? So you rested at night at the lake, boom, traveled hit the bridge by...
We were at the bridge at 7 in the morning. We rested for about 4 hours. Yeah, and then we moved on from there. So it
was
should
like
be
dawn, yeah.
Oh yeah, you rested during the day.
Yeah.
Night.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been traveling since the bridge. You've only been traveling for like 3 or 4 hours, right? So it's still daytime.
Yes. So just to fill you in, Natural Explorer, difficult terrain does not slow your group's travel. Your group can't become lost except by magical means.
Ah, that's important.
Yeah. And,
I was about to walk you off a cliff, but no, I guess not.
And there's more things to it, but this doesn't apply right
Okay.
now. So.
We just keep following the hoof prints right off the cliff.
Is anybody else keeping an eye out here for maybe more of these goblins that you spied?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, Bryn
Okay.
is for sure.
You go ahead and roll me perceptions.
I also want to remind you that I have danger sense, so I gain an uncanny sense of when things nearby aren't as they should be.
Elaborate.
It just says you gain an uncanny sense of when things nearby aren't as they should be, giving you an edge when you dodge away from danger. I have advantage on dexterity saving throws on effects I can't see, such as traps and spells.
Okay, perfect.
I'm getting a little gassy right now, so you might
Like
want to
traps.
No, but
Well,
she can see you, so
Sense
that doesn't
some
apply.
danger.
Falzarin's perception was 1.
Yeah, I don't see a lot.
And
Wow.
Bryn's is 13.
All right, Bryn. So you're doing a little better than Gozer. Falzarin, you just kind of like you got your eyes shut.
He's
I guess
sleeping,
kind of
yeah.
dozing off on the back of this horse somehow.
Yeah.
He like tries to put his head on my shoulder and I'm just like smacking him like, stop it.
Bryn, you spot on this mountain trail here. Again, you're kind of following these game paths, right? And you kind of spot this small, what looks to be like a cave opening in the side of this mountain. You know, you following the game, if something like the goblins maybe live in the mountains, they could very possibly be using these same trails as, you know, to hunt, to survive, right, for their own food source.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that kind of up ahead of you around a kind of slight curve in this trail as you round it, like 100 feet. Right.
Do I know what they are?
Yeah, you all recognize them as being goblins in the river. Yeah, so you guys have all seen the.
I'm just saying, like, what I see ahead of me. Do I know what they are?
You see a cave opening ahead of you.
Oh, sorry. I thought you told me animals. What am I hearing?
No, you're on like an animal trail, right?
Hey guys, I think I see something up ahead.
Whoa!
Looks like a cave or something.
Ah. Can we all take a look then?
Yeah, absolutely.
See if we can sort of figure out.
Yeah, why don't you roll perception with advantage as Bryn is kind of pointing this out to you, to everybody here.
Oh, okay. 14.
17.
It says advantage.
With advantage.
Yeah. There
18.
you go.
Okay, yes, you've all seen this cave now, this opening. Now it's like 80 feet-ish ahead of you on this trail. Still nothing like around, or no creatures or humanoids outside of the cave at the opening, but you've just seen this opening.
It's a cave. I mean, do you want to go in it? I think we keep pressing on.
Press on, but watch it.
Yeah, keep an eye as we go by. I mean, hell, we were afraid of the two goblins washing their
Wasn't
clothes,
afraid.
let alone wow, when I say afraid, I mean scared.
Wasn't scared.
Oh,
Cautious.
You gave up the reins awful easy when I wanted to avoid them. I just assumed. Sorry.
Easier for you to steer than for me.
Okay. You got? What do you guys? I mean, I think we just press on. What do you think?
Press on.
Do we see anything, any tracks leading into or out of this cave?
Again, you're like 80 feet away from the mouth of this cave.
Oh,
still.
okay.
You can
And
make that
are
check
there-
if you get a little closer.
No.
Are there any?
Travel on.
Are there any? Do we have to walk right by it, or are there
Yes,
alternate
this
paths,
path
or
leads you,
right to it?
yeah, to this cave. Yeah.
Okay.
You can see that it continues like past its opening, like the path continues past its opening a little bit, but again, you're kind of around this big curve of the side of this mountain kind of thing,
So we basically either turn back or keep going.
or walk past it. Yeah.
And if we turn back, we're going back to where the goblins were in the river.
Well, you would have to backtrack. Yeah, probably quite a ways, probably close to where you turned off away from the river. Yeah.
I don't think it makes sense to backtrack and turn around. I say we keep going and hope that there's nobody in this cave that's going to give us any trouble.
Agreed.
Okay.
So I have my favorite enemy is an orc, and I can tell by looking around if there's been any orc tracks or anything in this area that are orc related.
Okay. But you don't have to make a check or nothing. You just kind of look around.
No, it's my favorite enemy. Beginning at first level, you have significant experience studying, tracking, hunting, or even talking to certain types of enemies. You have advantage on wisdom survival checks to track your favorite enemies, as well as intelligence checks to recall information about them.
Cool.
So I guess I would still have to do a survival check.
Okay.
Ooh, 19 plus it's a 20.
And you're looking for orc tracks.
Yeah, I just want looking around to see if it looks like there's been any orcs in the area, or anything that I could see that they're in this
Okay.
travel this land.
You sense an orc right behind.
I only half sense it.
That's right. Only half the hair on your arm is stood up. No, so you don't see any orc tracks at all. You see no signs of orc activity along this mountain path.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Were you not able to pick? Sorry to interrupt you, Bryn. Did you not able to pick two
Yeah, I
types
took
of?
Knoll also. But
Oh, okay.
No, I was just saying that Falzarin advises that we just keep going instead of turning back, and I'm like, Good, because you're not driving. I'm gonna keep going, following Shaft.
Okay. Do you guys want to try to like stealth past this opening on these horses? Are you
I would
gonna
like to, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Just to be sure.
So you kind of slow them down to what's mechanically called a slow pace, I guess, on these horses. And okay, so the drivers, so Shaft and Bryn,
Oh, Bill had his dice ready.
can you guys make me an animal handling check, but apply your dex bonus?
Nice.
Yes, sir.
18.
That puts me at 19.
Okay, excellent. So you were able to kind of spur the horses along, but calm them. Just a nice little trot as you near this cave. Again, you still, as you get closer, you don't see any activity outside of it, but you are able to somehow sneak these horses past the opening of this cave. And as you go by, why don't everyone just kind of perceive this cave, except Shaft, because it's dark in there.
Nat
Ooh.
20 again.
How many 20s can one roll
I
in
like
a
this.
day?
I'm
die.
playing with my hand axe, and I'm not even looking in the cave.
My perception's 21. So, Falzer and I are on top of it.
Right. Brendan Falzern, as you look and you peer into this cave, you see past the where kind of the small amount of sun that's breaking through these overcast clouds is penetrating the opening of this cave. About 40 feet past that, right at the edge of both of your dark visions, you see kind of set into this stone. It's this big like wooden gate. It's like 10 feet high. As this kind of narrow cave opening opens up into this larger chamber, and you kind of continue past the cave on the trail.
And the gate is floor to ceiling.
Yes. No, it's not. Sorry. It's the gate itself is 10 feet high, and there is a small, not a huge gap, but yeah, there is like a 2 or 3 foot gap above the opening of the gate, and again you can see into the opening of how it opens. The inside of this cave opens into like a grander sized hall kind of thing, right? You can like see that the roof goes up and continues to go up and into as it
Cave widens past the gate.
Yes, exactly. And then kind of past that is complete darkness as you've reached the limit of your dark vision.
Hey,
Am I
guys.
able to whisper?
Yeah.
I mean, that gate's quite a ways away, so anyone on the other side of it can't hear me whispering, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. I'll put that into your stealth as you're kind of moving through. So the cave opening itself is only about 10 feet wide and
Okay.
like 6-7 feet high. Like it's not like a huge grand opening, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna say, hey, Shaft, Gozer, there's a big gate in here, a wooden gate.
What?
Do we keep going?
Yeah. At the
Well-
opening of the cave, there's like a 10-foot wooden gate, and you can tell this place is huge on the inside.
Want me to smash it
Gates are
down?
usually they're either there to keep something in or to keep something out.
I can smash it down.
Aren't
Well.
you curious at all?
Let's go see if it's locked.
I mean, I'm just a
I
little
mean-
curious, you guys.
Well, here, let's pull over here. Let's pass this thing up, and then maybe Bryn can go take a look and see what's in there.
And so you continue past the opening, and you finally kind of come around that full as you hit the edge of the curve of this mountainside, and you see just in front of you, like the path kind of runs about another like 50 feet in front of you as it kind of like it becomes less and less of a marked path, and it kind of ends as if the path it just leads nowhere now.
So does it look like anything's traveled up to this other than animals? Can we take a look and sort
Make
of...
me a, yeah, you guys can all, if you want to, are you going to all kind of dismount now, kind of
Yeah,
set
let's
the
get
horses
out
in
and look.
around this? Okay, so everyone can make me a survival check then as you kind of scouring for tracks.
4 for Falzern.
13 for Bryn.
16.
9.
Okay, Gozer and Bryn, you do find like footprints. Do goblins? How many toes do goblins have? I don't know. I think they have. They're humanoids, so they have. You see like humanoid impressions. Clearly not animal tracks.
Are they goblins?
You don't quite know what tracks you've found, but
but we have
I
suspicions.
feel like you might have said goblins.
Oh, look. Footprints.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a goblin prince, I think. I don't know.
I got the feeling that they are.
Yeah. What the heck? I thought you said there was only orcs up in
I
these
did not say that!
Well, the only people we've seen so far are goblins, so if there's footprints here, it's a good chance these might be goblin tracks.
Gozer, you feeling strong?
Always.
Of course.
Wait, don't go knocking it down. Let's just go see if it's open.
I mean, we can handle a few goblins. Nothing we haven't done before.
That room looked pretty big beyond that gate. There could be a whole horde of them in there.
There's no reason to
Usually
attract
are.
any attention. Let's just see if we can get in.
Okay. You want to go see if we can get in?
Well, you're the one that's supposed to know how to do all that crap.
Alright, well, I don't like being told what to do.
Okay, don't go up there and check the lock.
Fine, I'll go check the lock, Shaft. Gosh.
I'm telling you, you shouldn't do it.
What kind of check am I doing for the lock?
You are going to sneak up. You have to stealth up to the gate.
So, my stealth check is 22.
Okay. So yeah, as you get to the mouth of the cave, you kind of peer in again. It's no activity outside of this gate, and you're able to sneak successfully up to the gate. As you kind of listen, and you don't hear any immediate noise coming from the other side, but the front of this gate, you don't see any type of like lock mechanism. It's kind of like two, like, what did I say? The gate was 10 feet, right? So
Yeah.
5 by like 10 foot, basically like big planks as they've come closed to meeting like flush.
Can I whisper back to them and they'll hear me, or?
They're okay if they came with you, but remember,
I know.
you followed this path like around the corner of the cave, right? And parked the
I know.
horses, found the
I
tracks.
know.
So you can get back to them and like report.
Alright, well, if I can't talk to them, I'm just gonna, like, inch the gate open and just take a little look in. See what I see.
Okay, you want to push?
Yeah.
Okay.
But just a little push.
As you push, you push into it, and you met by resistance, and it does not open. So as if it's been like barred from the other side, right?
Alright, so I guess I'll go back to the other people.
Okay.
Do I have to sneak back, or can I just go?
No, that's fine. I'll put that all under the.
Okay,
under your
so-
push,
So I'll go back and I'll say, hey guys, so there's no lock. Doesn't seem to be any activity, but I tried to inch the gate open, and when I push, I meet resistance. Like, what? Is this worth it? I mean, I know the path ended. What else do you guys want to do?
So it's locked from the inside,
Yeah.
so they want to keep us out. Now I want to go in.
Yeah, what? Like, might be something good in there.
Can we get away from the cave without backtracking the way we came? Or would we have to go back all the way we came?
You have to go back down the trail that you came. Yeah. You could try to slide down the mountain, I suppose.
Gozer's gonna just lightly smack Shaft and said, "You led us wrong way."
I didn't lead you the wrong way. I didn't know where it ended. How in the hell was I supposed to know?
Wrong
where it
way.
ended? Oh, whatever. Well, while we're here, I guess we might as well see what they're trying to keep us from seeing, right?
I look over at Falzern and I say, you never know, there could be magical items in there.
Got my interest.
As a magic user, you're very interested in magical items.
I am.
Are you two flirting with each other? Because you're going to have to let Falzern know.
To be very blunt.
Bryn looks over at Shaft and I'm like, shut up. You know, I'm just manipulating this dodo.
Let's go.
Alright, let's go try
I
to
walk
see what
up.
we
I
can
just
do.
walk up there, without being stealthy. I just walk up there.
Okay. Is everyone else doing a stealth check?
No, Gozer is gonna try and tie the horses up so they don't run away.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say you can find like still you want to keep them around that bend, kind
Yeah.
of on the other side of this. Okay. Yeah, you can like tie or kind of find this sizable rock to kind of place on the ends of the reins so they kind of can't wander away.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I will remain stealthy just because that's who I am, and then, like, if anything happens, I can have advantage.
Okay, roll me a stealth then. And anyone else who wants to try to be stealthy can also roll a stealth check.
Gozer is not stealthing.
My stealth is 19.
I see that Shaft and Gozer are not stealthing, so I'm gonna just follow in tow with them a little bit behind.
So you all make it up to the door. Now, Shaft, again, as you walk in, like the first 20 feet of the cave, there's still kind of some daylight peering in, but once you get past that, it's darkness for you.
Okay, I'll light up my lantern. It's a bullseye.
Okay. Wow, you got it. Okay, you fire up your
He's
lantern.
being so brazen. He's just like, I don't give a...
All right, there's got to be some stuff in here, and you said there wasn't anybody in here, right?
That you could see.
You guys can see down in there. You said it was clear, right?
I said I couldn't open it.
Oh, well, wait to see if I can see anything. I hold my lantern up
Door's
and
still shut.
shine it in.
Okay, yeah. So Shaft, you see kind of what Brennan Falzer had described as you pass the opening of this cave, and yeah, you all now see like there's no locking mechanism on the outside of this gate.
Can we figure out like that? You see the bar on the other side? Can we see where that is?
No, you can't see anything as they're like flush together when it's closed.
And you said there was like a gap in the top.
There
right?
is, yeah, that's right.
Okay, I'll go over to Gozer and go. Is this big enough where you can stick my lantern through like the gate and lay it inside? Is there like a gap enough?
Yeah, it's like a 3-foot gap at the top of it, not below it.
Oh, so it's not like bars.
No, it's not. It's solid.
Oh,
it's
it's
like a
wood.
solid wood plank. You can't see past this gate
Hey, Gozer.
from the ground.
Gozer, I have a crowbar.
I could throw him.
want-
Throw me up
Yeah,
there. I'm
I'll
okay.
throw him.
I'll get up there.
And
You're going to have to throw.
I grab him,
Yeah, get me up
and
there.
I toss him up over top of the gate.
Okay, make me.
Just so willingly.
Can you
tossing
make me?
him.
Can you make me
Acrobatics.
an athletics check?
The other side of the fence, there might be just like complete destruction.
Shaft, you can help with like your own acrobatics.
I rolled a 20.
Now, while they're doing that, I'm gonna wave my wand of secrets at this gate. I haven't used that.
I have a 22.
Okay, so let's deal with Falzner first. So your wand of secrets does.
It detects trap or hidden door. Oh, I thought it detects a lock. Okay, well, let's see if there's a trap.
So you expend 1 charge on the wand, and I believe it's within 30 feet of you, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you do not detect any types of traps or hidden, like maybe hidden entryways past this gate. You don't detect anything within a 30-foot radius of you, or I guess a 15-foot radius.
He was just
30-foot
kidding
diameter.
he was just kidding about spending one of his charges.
No,
He's-
I'm gonna use it. I get 3 charges per day.
So, are you telling us that? Like,
Yeah,
I'm going
so-
up in the air and you go, "There's no traps!" Oh, good to know!
Exactly.
as he's in the air.
Not that you can change anything at this point, Shaft. But
That's right.
So Shav, you fly into the air as you kind of press off of Gozer. You know, she kind of puts her hands together, right, in that
Yeah.
that typical like
Alley-oop.
hoisty. Yeah, exactly. And you fly up to the top, and you're able to get, as you're holding your lantern, your other arm kind of slung and catch yourself on the top of this door, and you now can tell that like the door, these wooden planks, they're like 4 inches thick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're very thick.
So I shine my light down in there. What do I see?
So from up here, so I believe what's the lantern on the radius, or the lantern on the radius? The radius on the lantern, do you have that handy?
I do not, but I'll look it up real quick. A bullseye lantern should be in the equipment area.
Sure. If it works anything like a torch, I believe it's a 20-foot radius of bright light, followed by a 20-foot of dim light, and then darkness after that. So you should be able to see about 40 feet out, I believe.
He could see farther if he was taller to hold it up higher.
Right, so you're kind of 10 feet up, right? So you can see direct. Oh, let me just Pythagorean theorem here for a second. You can see.
A bullseye lantern cast a bright light, 60-foot cone, and dim light for an additional 60
Oh.
feet.
Ooh, 120.
Cone.
So, yeah.
What up,
Wow.
Cone?
Okay, so you have a 60-foot cone of bright light.
He's
Well,
really
like
got a
60 foot
bullseye.
clear and then dim light for an additional 60
Dim
feet.
for a 60. Holy shit. Okay. You, at the top, you shine your cone, and you can see, like, the floor beneath you right at the other side, and you cannot see from even that 120 foot like upwards. You can't see the like other side of the ceiling on even on that 120 feet like above you, but you can kind of see it as it kind of angled and it's like carved up, and then it kind of disappears even outside of that huge field of light that you're shining.
When you say the word carved, do you mean naturally carved or carved by a creature?
From what you look in the light, it doesn't look like it's like been naturally formed. Even just kind of your brief what you can see of it, it clearly looks like from like tools or something.
Okay.
As you shine your light down at the very edge, you can see there's like what looks kind of small structures, and they're like maybe like 10 by 10 like wooden like almost like stables. And as you shine your light into them, this light like lights up these yellow kind of glowing eyes as you're kind of surveying the room, and you see these like kennels now filled with these large like dog like mongrel beasts.
Are they making any noise, or are they just
The majority of them, it looks like they are kind of sleeping, but you do see like the few of them where that you get the eye glow. They kind of react to the light as they look up at you, and they start to growl and bark.
And you see these are in cages, you say?
Yeah, they're in like kind of these sectioned kennels.
Okay, can I look down and see how this door is blocked?
Yeah, so as you look down, you see this big bar, like two big bars, about like a third and like 2/3 the way up, kind of on this door, slung into these like metal brackets as they've been braced and barred from opening.
So I could easily just knock them off there to open the door.
You from the top you can't reach them.
No. I mean,
but yes, they could just be lifted out and you'd be able to open them.
Is there a distance between, like, if I was to make a loop of a rope and sort of take it down and then pull on them and knock them off, would that be something I think I could do?
You could try.
Okay. I mean, does it look like it would be obvious there's enough room there, or does it look like it's going to be very tactful?
It would be very difficult to loop it around like the end of it. I would say you have less than an inch of a gap from where they kind of slide in. And again, these are also big, thick, like 4-inch thick, like lengths of wood.
So I'm going to take my rope out. I'm going to tie it around my waist. I'm going to fling it down to Gozer, and I'm going to say, "Hey, hold on to this and lower me down a little bit on the other side. If I scream, pull really hard."
Got it.
Shaft, what do you see on the other side of this gate? What's over there?
Yeah,
What are we
there's
getting
some,
ourselves into?
looks like some little dogs. Nothing to be concerned about.
Little dogs?
And-
What are dogs
yeah.
doing
What?
over there?
I don't know yet. I haven't got down there. So I don't think there's anything to be concerned about just yet.
Do they look friendly?
Well, none of them, can you hear them?
Yeah. So as you guys are talking to each other, their growls and their barks, the ones that were kind of up and awake and are reacting to the light, they have now woken up the other ones as they've all now seen you, Shaft, or smelled you, or reacting to your light, as they all start like barking and growling and howling, and you kind of hear from way back this echo, "What the hell is going on in there?"
Okay, wait a second. I think I got another
Shaft,
plan.
they don't sound small.
No, I couldn't see them real well. I think they're a little bigger than I first anticipated. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to scoot back over here. If I scoot over on the top there, is there any rock that would sort of like hide me if somebody from seeing?
You could you could possibly like scurry to like either side of this gate, right? I imagine like Gozer kind of flung you up in the middle-ish of it, right?
Yeah.
Of this 10-foot wide gate. Yeah, you could scurry to your right or your left and kind of maybe hang yourself around like the frame, right? The framing of these big wooden like poles on the very outside
Opposite
of
side.
the stone.
Is he bringing the lantern with him, so it's pretty obvious where he hid,
Well,
or what?
I'll have my lantern on my belt, and I'll sort of go off to the other side.
Are you gonna snuff your lantern out, or is it still?
I feel like if
It's
the
still- it's
lantern's
still
lit,
lit.
they're gonna see you.
I'm going to say, I think it's just like a bunch of big dogs. I know I said small, but I meant big when I said that. But everything's bigger. Everything's bigger than me anyway.
And you have all now heard and can hear this barking and have heard the bellow coming from the back of this cave.
Shaft, I think you should get out of there. This doesn't sound good.
That voice, is that speaking in common?
It is speaking in common.
Okay. Yeah, this isn't good. I think, Gozer, can you catch me here, buddy?
I jerk the rope and pull him down.
Alright.
Alright, Bryn's already, basically inching toward the horses. Like, she's like, I don't want to be doing this. Dogs aren't worth anything. It's a different thing if it's a cave full of treasure like last time, but I don't know. Like, a bunch of dogs and...
So, I'm up on this wall
Yeah,
with
he's down.
with a lit lantern, and you're yanked me. I'm just...
Yep.
Okay, so Gozer, can you make me a strength check, please? And you know what? I'm going to... Geez, I don't really know how to do it. You know what? I'm going to do a... Let's make a passive strength contested check from Shaft. So what would be your passive strength, Shaft?
Well, if it's 10 plus my strength modifier, that would be 2. I have a +2, so that'd be a 12.
I got a 13.
Okay, so Gozer, you yank the rope and you pull Shaft off as he can't quite hold on against you. And Shaft, can you make me an acrobatics check to keep a hold of your lantern as you're yanked down?
All right, that's 8 plus 6, 14.
Ooh, as you are pulled kind of off this, your lantern you lose your grip on it as it falls on the other side of this gate and clatters to the ground. I assume it's like a candle inside of it.
It's an oil lamp.
Okay.
But it's got a hood on it. It's a bullseye lantern. So
okay.
It's like a really nice flashlight.
Okay, so
it
doesn't quite snuff out as, the wick on it. It's still kind of saturated with the oil that you would be burning on it. So it kind of clatters, and I'm going to roll a percentile. Above 50, it rolls and lands pointing towards the gate. Below 50, it's pointing into the cave, okay?
Okay.
I got a 46.
Okay.
So sorry, what option was that? I forgot what I said.
It's pointing
I
toward the
believe
gate.
everything's fine.
Everything's
pointing to
fine.
the
Don't
gate.
worry. It actually went out.
Okay.
We're good.
So it's pointing, kind of clatters the ground and kind of rolls and comes to a stop. It's the main cone arc is kind of pointing to the gate now, illuminating the gate though, illuminating the bottom of the gate.
Okay. So I hit the ground. I assume I don't take any damage since I made the check, right?
Well, Gozer, are you gonna catch him?
No.
She just lets him go.
Alright.
Brutal. Savage.
So Shaft, you're gonna take 4 points of falling damage
Okay.
as you hit the ground, and you kind of hear more like another bellow, like another kind of like confused bellow from the other side of this gate now.
Okay. So I'll run over and get my lantern.
No, it fell on the other side.
Oh, on the other side.
Yes.
Oh. Shit.
You lost your lantern privileges, buddy.
So now even though you couldn't see through the flesh, like at kind of where it joins on those frames, you can a little light is kind of filtering through, so like you can, like a tiny little bit, like slivers of light, you can tell that it's still lit.
I mean, do you really want to go get that lantern, or was there anything worth getting?
I would love to have my lantern back, and apparently I'm going to have to speak with Gozer about what yelling loudly means. You're not supposed to pull me down until I started yelling loudly.
I mean, I can try to pick this lock now that
You're
I've
not
got
gonna-
some light shed on the situation.
You're not going to pick it. There's great big bars on the other side.
And I couldn't lift it with my crowbar at all or anything? Now that I can see what I'm doing?
I don't think you're going
No,
to
like I said, so
there.
where the two meet, they close completely flush. Like you wouldn't be able to drive that crowbar through, especially now that Shaft knows like those planks are like 4 inches thick. Like the doors themselves are like 4 inches thick.
Alright, tough luck, buddy. Looks like we need to turn around.
Well, we got more than that as a problem. I imagine whatever's in there, whatever guy's in there, is going to come and let those dogs out. So
Who let the dogs out?
I don't know yet. I haven't met him.
So yeah, you continue to hear. You kind of hear the voice like it does sound like it bellows again, like oh, quiet down, you. As he's kind of, and the voice, like, it sounds closer, right? As he's kind of moving in and kind of inspecting.
Oh,
you imagine, like, as he's making his way into this big room that you've kind of spied into now.
So here's the way I see it. He's going to see the lantern. He's going to let the dogs out. He's going to open the door. And no matter where the hell we are, these things are going to come get us.
So what do you think we should do, Chef?
Oh, I'm just telling you how bad it's going to be.
How many dogs?
Yeah, how
How
many
many
dogs?
dogs did you see?
How many dogs approximately did I see?
You saw 8 individual kennels, but
With 100 dogs each.
yeah, $100 in each kennel. No, but you made out at least 4. It was kind of abrupt as you're up there, right? A little bit. Obviously, much quicker than the way it kind of sounds as we're kind of RPing it, right? But you saw for sure like 2 like sleeping and 2 that were awake that kind of were the first ones to react to your lanterns.
Yeah, it's like 4 or more.
Do you think we could get a head start, get on the horses, and get out of here?
You're not going to outrun the dogs more than likely on this terrain, especially. I think our best bet is to.
Gozer yells, "Hey, you inside!"
Okay,
Oh, gosh.
I got a better
Bryn
idea.
puts her hand over her face like, what is happening?
Okay, so Gozer yells.
Why?
Huh? Who said
We
that?
want our
What?
lantern back!
As this figure kind of gets closer to the gate, you hear like kind of like these pounding footsteps,
Oh no.
Of course, it's not a small person inside
like
there.
heavy footfalls. It's like, huh? Who's over there? As you kind of hear him, as you hear the lantern like kind of lift up off of the ground.
Gozer!
As Gozer yells her name, you hear the sound like this clatter, like further back into the cave of your lantern kind of clattering on the ground again. As he seemingly like has maybe tossed it behind him, kind of discarding it. He doesn't care about it. And you hear the creak of one of the bars start to lift off the gate.
Okay, is there a can I go around and above this cave entrance? Like climb around and be on top?
You want to be
of
up,
where
like above? Okay, I
above
get what you're saying.
the cave entrance.
I get what you're
yes.
saying. Yeah, you can absolutely try to do that.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to clamber up.
I would also like to not be just waiting here, dumbfounded, as this door swings open.
Okay, so let's say you have a very brief window. So in between, so Gozer's yelled, right? This person has come across, interacted with her. Gozer has yelled her name again. In that time, you guys, what would the rest of you like to be doing? So Shaft, you wanna try to get some type of advantage on the outside of this cave,
Yep, I'm trying to go up the top.
okay? And the rest of
Sorry,
you,
guys.
I'm gonna say, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting out of here. I want to at least be out of sight when this guy opens the door. So I'm gonna take off following Shaft.
you're following Shaft, okay? And Bryn,
I am going to try to jump up on the top of this fence.
you're gonna try to scale the gate,
Yeah.
okay?
Gate.
Nice to see you, Bryn.
Perch myself up there.
Okay, so Gozer, you've screamed your name now, and then you've seen your kind of 2 of your companions run out the entrance, and Bryn is now like trying to sprint at this,
I'm
so she's
sprinting
gonna
at
do
the
like
gate,
a high
'cause
jump.
I've-
Yeah,
Yeah, my ring of jumping, I need to sprint at it. Yeah.
right. So Gozer, okay, let's resolve. So Shaft, you are able to, you could, the sunlight coming into the entrance, you can find your way out of this cave at least. And Falls are in shortly behind, so you guys have made it to the mouth of the cave. And Shaft, why don't you make me an acrobatics to try to scale at some vantage point on the outside of this entrance.
21.
Okay, so yeah, you're kind of able to scramble up. Again, you're very
nimble and quick.
Yeah, especially in this terrain, right? Like, surely you've scrambled to get height advantage over the opening of a cave before in your youth.
It's an everyday thing.
Yeah, and Falzarin, so you've followed and you've seen Shaft kind of scramble up. What exactly are you doing too? Are you gonna? What do you wanna try to do?
I'm sort of like on the side of a mountain, basically on this little path that leads into this cave, and then it goes past it to where our horses are and the path ends. So the only option is go to the left or the right on this narrow path, or go up. Correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go up with Shaft. So I'm
Okay.
acrobatics check as well.
Yes, you're gonna have to do an acrobatics check.
19.
Nice.
You scramble and you're kind of get a foothold and you get up 5 feet and your foothold breaks and you crash, slamming back down right into the entrance of this cave.
Okay.
No falling damage though. You didn't quite get high enough, but you are prone now. Bryn. Bryn, you want to do a high jump?
Yeah, and I was reading about jumping right now, but I'm still not able to make sense of what it says.
Okay.
My ring of jumping says 3 plus strength, so I don't...
It triples the what you should be able to do, right? So if you move at least 10 feet before doing a high jump, which is what this is.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading.
Right. You can jump into the air a number of feet equal to 3 plus your strength modifier. Moving at least 10 feet.
Modifier.
So your strength modifier is 0, right? So you can jump. The ring triples that, so you can jump like
9.
vertically, like 9 feet in the air. Why don't you roll me an acrobatics check?
8.
That is not quite enough. You kind of jump up and you slam just like inches below the edge, catching the edge. And now you can hear the second bar is being lifted from the other side of this gate. You guys have a very brief window, Gozer and Bryn, to do one last thing before this guy kicks this gate open.
I am going to pull my axe out, but I'm going to have it down at my side because I'm not currently wanting to fight this guy. I just want to get the lantern back. That's what Gozer's thinking. I want the lantern back.
Which way does the gate swing? Does it swing in towards him or out towards us?
You can tell that it'll swing out towards you.
I am going to scurry across so that when he opens the gate, I'm hidden behind the gate.
Okay, great. As the gate opens, roll me a hide check.
I rolled a 14, but what does, I don't see hide on here somewhere, so...
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's basically a stealth check, but you're taking the hide action.
14 plus 7 is 21.
Okay, great. So you are completely covered by the one half of this gate as it opens and Gozer in front of you, and Falzarin from your nice resting, your plop on the ground there. You see this ogre, this 12-foot ogre, kind of push open this gate with this kind of snarly look on his face. Who is Gozer?
Me.
What the hell are you doing here?
Got lost?
Well, that's bad. This is a bad place to get lost.
Lantern. Can I get it back?
Lantern is mine now.
Okay, that's fair.
After all that.
And he kind of eyes the great axe kind of next to your side.
Can I hear?
You can hear them talking here. Yeah, you can hear them.
I'm gonna go. But you said you were gonna kick his ass.
Shaft.
Turnabout's fair play.
You and Shaft are just throwing each other under the bus all the time. Just don't even care.
You think you're gonna use that? As he motions to your great axe.
I have.
He's kind of got this great club of his own in his hand. Kind of does that, he pats one hand with the end of his great club. You think you can do better than me?
Just because you're bigger doesn't mean you're better.
I'm best of all.
No, Gozer is.
All right, we're gonna roll initiative. Here we go.
Oh.
I thought we were wrapping this up,
Gozer was willing to walk away. Gozer didn't care that much about it.
Falzarin's a 6.
Oh, I'm a 7.
Shaft's a 13.
Gozer?
16.
Okay, well, first up is Gozer.
To Blave! And Frenzy.
Oh, wow, okay.
I am Frenzy Raging, which means I get 2 attacks. She's gonna run up, she's gonna shout, to Blave, grab her great axe, run up to him, and jump up in the air and bring her axe down on him.
Okay.
Okay, so I rolled a 24 and a 22.
They both hit.
Okay,
You would hope.
that is 8 points of damage and 14 points of damage.
Dang. 22.
Are you gonna move?
No.
Hint.
I mean, I gotta take the damage, so you all don't get the damage. I'm gonna be right up there in his face.
Shaft, you've heard Gozer's war cry before. Even though you can't see what's happening, you've got a good idea what the hell's going on.
I'm gonna yell, "Come out here so I can see you kick his ass!" And I'm gonna start working my way back over to where I can.
Well, I wouldn't have been able to move away from him anyway, because then he would have gotten an opportunity attack.
I don't see any of that. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what I told you. And I pull my weapons, ready my action. If I see him come out where I can see him, I'm gonna attack.
All right, now this ogre goes, raises his great club against Gozer, hits you with a 22 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits. That hits hard.
Oh, that was the worst damage roll. Smashes you for 7 bludgeoning damage.
7, half of that, so that's 4.
Yeah, and Bryn. So Bryn, you are totally hidden. This ogre does
Yeah.
not even know you're there.
That is the hope. So I'm reading my notes here. It says that when a creature's surprised, I get a critical hit.
Right, this creature's
How do I
not
know
surprised.
I was gonna say, how do I know if I
A
surprise
creature is
somebody?
surprised if if I give you a surprise round. So basically, if you can like set up like an ambush, and you get to attack a creature that doesn't even know like anything is around them or anything like that. So this ogre isn't surprised, but it doesn't know where you are.
But I definitely have advantage, so.
Yes, you do have advantage because it can't see you. It doesn't know you're there.
Okay. So 24 to hit.
Yeah.
I'm shooting him with my longbow.
Oh, okay. Hold on, that's different. You to come out, like, okay, one, you're behind the gate, right? So
Well,
you
am I
can't
close
see him
enough to
until
hit
you
him
move.
Am I close enough to hit him? With my rapier?
Yes, but you have to move like out from this gate, right? So you could come out and move out beside him, and then like melee him. Like you would be moving. For you to move to where you could see him, it would be you'd be engaging him in melee combat. So yeah, you come up with your rapier though, so you could just
Okay.
be using your
Okay, yeah. So I'll like sneak out, and in like one motion, I'm pushing my way out of the gate and just jabbing forward with my rapier, and I get him for 11 plus 3, 14 damage.
Eesh. Okay, Falzarin, on your ass. So when you're prone, you just spend half your movement, and you can stand up.
Okay. And the mouth of this cave is how far from the ogre?
60 feet.
60 feet. Ray of Frost it is.
All right.
Ray of Frost.
You could still move half your movement.
And at this point, like the dog things are like howling. They're going crazy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
Cancel that. I'm gonna go with Chromatic Orb again. It's got a 90-foot range.
Okay, and damage type?
Ogre.
Ogre damage.
He probably doesn't like acid. Although, unfortunately, I rolled an 11 to hit.
11 hits. So yeah, this ogre, he's wearing less clothes than Gozer is. He's just got kind of this loincloth, kind of, wearing maybe like this kind of necklace with bones kind of strung around it.
I have a question. Do certain, like when he gets to choose his damage type, do certain damages do more against certain races or things like that, or like?
Yeah, so certain monsters will either they could be completely immune to that damage type. They could be resistant to it, which means they take half damage. Immunity, they would take no damage, right? Resistant, they would take half damage. And they could be vulnerable to that type of damage where they would take twice the damage.
Is that something that, like, the DM sets up ahead of time, or is that, like, a uniform thing that we could memorize and, like, he could know?
That is part of a monster stat block. You could possibly do a roll to figure it out during combat. And if you encounter kind of similar beings over a certain amount of time, you're going to gain some certain amount of knowledge on that thing too.
Yeah, I was just curious, because he can choose between, like, all these types. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can. Am I allowed? Can I roll to see if I am able to know what he might be susceptible to, or resistant?
You can roll a nature check.
9.
You do not know any of his immunities, vulnerabilities, or resistances. So you're going with acid?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
14 damage.
Nice. And as you kind of, I imagine it's like you kind of, this bubble, this orb, right, just kind of cracks over his head and then like his acid spills out on him. And he's kind of like, his skin is sizzling and he's kind of swaying on his feet. As Gozer, you're back to the top of the order.
Oh, goodness. Running in with my axe, and I'm going to get a 22 and a 16.
Both are going to hit.
And that is 13 damage.
That first one does it. I assume your great axe is your first one, just kind of cleaves into his shoulder.
I'm still going to try and go for taking the head off.
Sure, go for it.
But it's only a 6 more points of damage.
Okay, you get your hand axe, kind of halfway into this. He's a large thing. He's got a big, thick, fatty neck, so, and it kind of gets stuck a little as you tug it back out. But he just arms limp, great club drops to the floor, and his body just thuds to the ground. And behind you in this cavern, these dog things are just going crazy as they smell you. They smell the blood. They're just howling and barking and yipping.
And that's our show. Our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. For your own musical inquiries, contact jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. All other music and ambient noise is courtesy of tabletopaudio.com. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. Visit criticalhitdesign.com for all of your graphic design needs. You can find more info on the characters and world at incorrigibleparty.com. Enjoying the show? Have any questions or rules corrections? Email us, contact@incorrigibleparty.com, or reach out on social media. The Incorrigible Party on Facebook and Instagram, @IncorrigiblePar on Twitter, using the hashtag AfterPartyIP for a shout-out during our behind-the-screen after-party episodes that drop every 4th release. Happy adventuring! A familiar figure steps through an already open gate. The colors of his vest now as washed out as his pale gray skin. He peers into a dark barn, surveying the carnage of littered orc bodies and twisted, smashed insect parts. A warped, horseless wagon softly creaks under the strain of being twisted, barely holding together, with one wheel sunk into an open sewer hatch. The figure moves towards it, stopping abruptly as a small creature appears, its 8 spider legs chittering across the reinforced wooden roof of the wagon. It leaps at the figure, a mouth full of sharp teeth snapping at the air, its reach only limited by the long, eel-like neck on which it is connected. The figure raises his arms in defense, the arachnoid creature hitting him in the chest as its teeth sink into his shoulder. More movement from the back of the wagon, as 5 humans stumble out, their eyes glazed over and their foreheads newly anointed with a strange runic tattoo. The figure pushes the creature to the ground, the bite wound seeming insignificant. He raises his arms into the air and brings them smashing down onto the creature. 2 hacked-off stumps where hands should be, obliterating it, adding another coat of viscera to the barn's already painted battle scene. The human's approach immediately stops, their glazed looks turn to ones of confusion, then coherence. What happened? Are we finally safe? Are you here to help us? One of the humans asks. No, you're not the ones I'm looking for, responds the familiar figure. Saying nothing more, he turns from the barn, continuing his hunt southward.